So guys, I am going to a party tomorrow, and I should probably bring something, because I'm an adult, and I don't bring things to parties. I'm going to make the only thing I know how to make, which is cheese crackers. In here we have 6, it might be 5, it's meant to be 6 tablespoons of butter, it might be 5 tablespoons of butter, who knows. To do it, we're going to add 3 cups of shredded cheese. This is just basic run-of-the-mill cheddar cheese. It's old cheddar because it's tastier or something. I don't particularly like old cheddar. But hey-ho, it's all over the counter. That's fine. Like, seriously, it got everywhere. How did it do that? To this, we're going to add about 1.5 teaspoons of paprika. Sure. And we are going to add a pinch of what I believe to be cayenne pepper. I think it's cayenne pepper. I'm not 100% sure. Might be steak seasoning. I don't really know. It's in an unlabeled bag from Bulk Barn. But we're just going to add a pinch of it just to be on the safe side. I don't know. I don't think it's cayenne pepper now, looking at it closely. Let's rethink this plan. I don't even know if I have cayenne pepper in the house, to be honest. I found another mystery bag. Kind of smells cayenne-y. There's not much of it, which would make sense. My wife doesn't actually like cayenne pepper, so she doesn't buy a lot of it. If I can get into the damn thing here, we can actually maybe work out what it is. Well, it certainly looks like cayenne. Doesn't really smell of anything though. But it took me long enough to get into the bag, so I'm going to add a pinch of it anyway. Ta-da! Maybe it's nutmeg, who knows. Nope. I licked it. It's definitely cayenne. We're also going to add a little bit of salt. There we go. And mix the whole thing up with a spatula. Now when I say I'm going to a party, it's more really just a gathering of friends. Not a huge amount of us. So we're not going to make a huge batch of this recipe here, only about triple the recipe is what we're doing right now. I should also say that this recipe is from Chef John at foodwishes.com. He is who told me about the recipe. Well, he didn't personally tell me about the recipe. He didn't say, hey, this is the recipe. I just watched his video and the recipe was on there. I was like, hey, I understand what is happening here. It's just cheese and butter. I can do that. And so I've been making this recipe ever since. Okay, the butter and the cheese and the spices is fairly mixed together. We are going to get the next ingredient. 1.5-ish cups of flour. We are going to poke this around with a fork a little bit until it becomes crumbly and delicious. I mean, when I say a few friends are coming together, it's more just me. I like cheese crackers. I'm hungry. I don't really have any friends. I'm so lonely. You gotta make sure you get the fork all the way down to the bottom here. Get all the crumbles. Oh, nice and crumbly. Make sure you get every bit of cheese, every bit of flour. Make it all combined into this nice crumbly mixture. Alright, and once that's looking crumbly enough, we're going to grab some nice cold water. Just going to put this in a couple of drops at a time. And just kind of mix it around again with the spatula. Just so you can make a nice, throw it to the side a little bit. Throwing some on the counter, I always find that helps. But we're just going for a nice dough once again. There we go, so it's just starting to come into a ball now. We might need a bit of water to grab the outside parts. It's just starting to come together. Yeah, just another one just to get the outside. Alright, so once it is in a dough that can hold its shape, like it just about is now, we are going to take the dough mixture, just kind of flatten it down into a bit of a disc shape. Make sure all the little bits are with it too. We will take some plastic wrap, wrap up the cheese disc, and put it into the fridge for about 30 minutes. Alright, so now it's been in the fridge, it's firmed up a little. We are going to roll it out on a lightly floured surface to about 1/8 of an inch thick or so. I suck at rolling stuff to be the right thickness and to be even, but I believe that's about as good as I'm going to get it. So then, using a pizza cutter, we're going to cut off these strips here. We'll re-roll those later. We're going to make sure it's roughly even. It's really not. Let me cut this into a nice square here, then we can roll it out a little bit more. Okay, there we go, I'm happy with that. So we are now going to take our pizza cutter and cut it to roughly about inch-ish wide strips. And then each strip we're going to cut into about inch-ish wide squares. And here you can see how bad I am at measuring things. There we go. That's a little better. I've moved the ones at the top because they were a little bit thick. Now we're going to take a pokey thing and poke some holes into the crackers. About 5 should do. Something about orange? Fine. Next, we got a baking tray with some aluminium foil on it. I'm going to put a tiny bit of vegetable oil on it, off frame so you can't actually see it, and then just kind of smudge it around with our fingers a little. And then we just need to transfer the crackers onto here. We can put them pretty close together actually, because they do shrink quite a bit during the cooking process. Then we're going to throw this whole thing into a preheated 375 degree oven for about 15 minutes. Seem to be thicker than I usually make them, so they're probably going to need a little bit more time than usual. Okay, well, it looks like the bottom is getting a touch crispy, as in burnt, so we're going to call those as done. Oh yeah, look at that. They're perfect. Crispy, not too hard, not too soft. So we'll give them a few minutes on the pan to cool down, and they will like literally unstick themselves from the pan. Then I'll cook up the next batch and that'll be it. Hopefully they will be good enough to eat.